Hi there, welcome to the 7th episode of Creating Your Style Statement with upmashrian. So this time we're going to talk about color schemes. Now what are color schemes? Color schemes are color palettes, color groups put together and seeing what would suit my style. Which color scheme should I follow? So basically there are around 6 color schemes starting from monochromatic to tetradic, but we'll be covering most of them, maybe not all of them. Before we go on to color schemes, what are they? We need to understand what are tints of color, what are shades of color, what are the tones of color. So it's a very simple logic. You add white to red, you get the tints of red. You add black to red, you get shades of red. And you add grey to red, you get tones. So how many tints can be there for red? It could be infinite. How many shades? Infinite. How many tones? Infinite. So you keep adding and you keep getting a different shade, a different tint, different tone of the color. So let's talk about the first color scheme. We call them monochromatic color scheme. Now what is monochromatic color scheme? Is one color, meaning one hue, and all its tints and shades together. So if I'm talking of red, like in this picture, we have reds till the pinks and we have reds till all the shades of burgundy and deeper. So lightness and darkness of the same color are added there. What kind of emotion do you get when you see monochromatic color palette? We get a feeling of soothing and calmness and maybe even height. So here we come to various pictures I'll share with you so that you get an idea of how we've been using monochromatic. Like in the first set of pictures you see this lady in tints of pink and she's looking very elegant, and so is the rest of the group. But the way in monochromatic our eye just flows, so we tend to lengthen the figure, whichever color we wear usually. Again, another example we have of this mauve interiors with a little lighter shade, tints and darker shades, but creating an interest. So let's have some more examples to see, and these browns, look at the various pictures here. You have from the lightest tone of brown, beige, khaki to the deeper ones. Here we have a very good example of monochromatic yellow. And now these models are looking really tall because yellow as a color expands as well. So you are not looking at each section of the garment. Remember how we discussed primary and secondary colors? Here we are just looking off the whole figure together. So they look much more taller than actually they are. Same goes for these examples of green. This is a beautiful example of picture used by a photographer and how the feeling of calmness, the feeling of being cool comes through this monochromatic blue theme. I'm bringing you to a very interesting picture of this gentleman here. You can't make out that he is not very lean and tall, but through his monochromatic selection of clothes, he's looking so. This is a very beautiful example of his wardrobe put together. He's wearing a checked shirt with tints and shades of grey. He's got a deep shade of grey right there in his necktie, matching to his square pocket square, and his jacket. So he's really balanced the patterns and the monochromatic palette here. I'm sharing a very good example of interiors of a room here where all the lightest tints and shades of grey have been used very well. Next to the lighter shade tint in the wall, a darker curtain shade is used. So though it is in monochromatic tone, but still it's not boring. You feel there is, interest created in the interiors of this room. Similarly, this picture of what this photographer has achieved is quite the same. Coming to these these 3 pictures, I want to share that how, though we could call it boring, but it isn't really boring. It's very elegant and your eye flows from his necktie to his shirt to his jacket. Same goes for the woman with the cardigan and her trouser. So when we want to create a very smooth look and a leaner look, we pick up a monochromatic color scheme. Now we are coming to the second color scheme, a very interesting one. Earlier we had the monochromatic. Now we are moving a little towards contrast from the no contrast zone, called the analogous color scheme. Analogous color scheme are the colors which are placed next to each other in the color wheel. So we're going back to the color wheel reference. So look at your color wheel, pick up any 3 colors which are placed together. When you bundle them up, we have 12 color schemes here of analogous colors. Now analogous colors create a little bit of drama, but not the plainness or the smoothness of monochromatic. Now when developing an analogous color scheme, what is very important is either we use all the three colors in equal proportion, not always a good idea. What we can do is make one color dominate, let the second color be supporting it, and let the third color be accent. We'll share this with a lot of examples, but I want you to really get in that these are the 12 groups of analogous color schemes. Some look like monochromatic, and some have this little different color in them. So look at this example. We are looking at the three colors, orange, orange and yellow, and how they have been utilized. And you keep observing how your eye is flowing, it's not stopping at one garment. So look at this picture here. I'm just rotating the color wheel and showing you sections of the analogous 3 or 4 colors I've taken together. So see in the picture of the house here, yellow is the dominant color as we just talked about. Supporting color is the orange and green is the accent. So another design picture here where again 4 colors are used. The main color used here is again a yellowish green. The green is the secondary. And do you see that the orange there is the accent? So the one which is used the least. Let me show you another example where we also use these color groups for various branding purposes, and what those colors stand for. Remember the symbolic quality of those colors. So using the symbolic qualities plus the quality of analogous colors which do not contrast too much but create little bit interest. So like in this example, we have his blue shirt and green trouser, and our eye is flowing from this blue shirt to the green trouser. Same example goes for the lady. So there's a lot of interest generation here when we look at these compositions. Then monochromatic. So moving from monochromatic to analogous is a creation of interest in the color palette. And the most widely used color palette is analogous colors, whether it's apparel, whether it is companies deciding their logo, whether it is interior design, whether it is photographers and brand shoots. So we have a series of examples here which I'm sharing with you. Have a look. I love this picture. This picture is one of the analogous colors which create a very luxurious, a very sensual lounge effect. It has been used in lounges. It has been used in, just look at this lady's hair color, it's almost the same color palette. It's the same analogous color group from blue till mauve till reddish mauve, and there you go.